So it's a range of different things that I've done, from working with the different social workers and so on within the team, for giving them information that may be able to support people with different things to reassure them. And then it's been a while since I've done a lot of those. Sometimes as well, it's been, there was one case where I helped someone that the Transforming Care team were working with to be able to record their story. And we had a sharing good practice day. And we wanted to do it as a video, because actually you can read all the words you like about someone, but actually hearing the story from someone themselves is far more powerful. So I helped to facilitate that. So my job isn't just for the Transforming Care team, but it's across the adult disability service as it is now. It was the Learning Disability and Autism service. So I used to receive support from the council, and I saw this job come up, and I wanted to give something back, because the skill set that I have about my experience of using support services, and I wanted to basically be able to use my experience and be able to help other people with learning disabilities and autism to have the best lives possible. So a really good question. I've been doing my job for 5 years now, and there's been a lot of change in that time, between where Transforming Care team sits and how the service has changed into an adult disability service. I kind of see myself working within the kind of field of work long term, but always keep my eyes open for what opportunities there may be to do support in different ways. There's a real range of things what people need help with. So some people have been in long stay hospitals, institutions for a long time, so they might not know what to expect of life, what opportunities there are. So for me, the thing that people may need is they may need to be able to go and visit somewhere to kind of get a flavour, feel what that looks like. Because sometimes you talk about it and they may have had talks in the past and things have fallen through, so they've not happened. So visiting places, that they need basically good, clear communication, but most importantly, is someone that listens to some of them, because people have their voices, and it's about making sure we really are comfortable. So can you imagine what makes your home special for you? There's different things that, like home comforts, like even your favorite color. If you've got a favorite color and you've got your, if you decorate your flat or your home in the way you want it, you're going to look after it better, and that may help people. Reassurance that things are going to be okay. Some things, it may be that kind of practical things about going shopping. Some people might not have anything, so they may need to go and buy things to set up home. And there was something else I was thinking about earlier with this. And basically someone that they can talk to about their worries. Because if someone's worried, we all naturally have points where we're worried. And it's really important that people are able to share those worries before those worries may build up into a situation where it could be a lot harder. After moving, I think people need someone to check how they feel, to look at the things that have gone really well. So you're focusing on those positives, um, finding out uh, what they've learned. They may have learned some new skills when they've moved. Also, to get to know the area that they live in, because if they've not lived in that area before, um, and you want to know where your nearest pub is, where your nearest takeaway, where's your supermarket, all of those essential things that people want to do. And it's really difficult because of the times we're in at the moment, um, to kind of do those things. But the things that are around you are really important. So I've moved 3 times since I left my family home. Um, and I think each of them have been slightly different. So the first time I went to go and live in a flat with my brother, and have some outreach support, and that was interesting. It felt like exciting, um, and it was quite strange because it was quite a situation where it was quite quick where it happened. Um, uh, I wasn't even around for the moving in of stuff, which was quite nice, but a bit strange, um, because I didn't really have a say of how I would want the furniture put. I quickly changed some of the stuff anyway. Um, and then my second move, uh, I moved. So we were having support with me and my brother, but the relationship was getting really strained and wasn't working very well. So then I moved out, and my brother moved out, and we both moved into different supported livings. And that was um, a good experience because I kind of needed my confidence building back up. I wanted to learn new skills to be as independent as I possibly could. And I think that's something that I really got out of living in supported living. And I knew quite a lot of people there. So it was really reassuring. And so I built those skills that were really important. So I enjoyed cooking, found a better job, um, went and did a college course in the evenings that I wanted to do. Um, and then my last experience of moving was 5.5 years ago into where I live now. And that was, I moved out of supported living because I'd got became lots more independent, um, and I wanted my own place, somewhere that really felt like home, and I could make that work, and it fitted in with me starting this job. Um, all of the timing just worked quite well. It was a really positive time, um, and I think that was like the word freedom just came to my head, um, because it was like the first flat where it's like, this is my flat. I can decorate the walls how I want it, um, just like a whole setting up of a whole flat. Um, so it was like, okay, I chose all of the furniture I wanted. Um, and just an exciting time really. But each of the moves has been stressful in its own way, because um, I have Asperger's as well, so my routine and structure is really important in my life. And when you move, it can be quite an upheaval, and so you don't have the things you want all of the time. Um, that your same routines, like you're changing. I had to change where I shopped, um, and I get used to where things are in the supermarket. Um, so I think they're things that everyone experiences in different ways. Something that helped, uh, each flat I've moved into, one thing that I've done on the first night, and it's kind of a tip I would give to anyone. If you're moving, forget about the cooking on your first night. Treat yourself to a takeaway or something, because you're settling into your new home, and you want to be able to do that without the worry about cooking and all of that. So get yourself a takeaway and enjoy it. So I think different things in each of those moves, but the main thing is being able to talk to people about how I'm feeling, um, because like moving is one of the most stressful times in life, um, and so talking to people how you're feeling, things that make me feel settled. Um, it's kind of like different things, but um, making sure you've got a really comfortable setup. So like um, having a nice bed that's comfortable to sleep in on your first night. That's reassuring, um, and then kind of trying to stick to as much structure as possible. And I think that other things that people have said to me that's helped them um, is kind of um, and it is kind of what I did as well, is keeping some of those support staff that are the same. Um, and when I moved into this, my last flat where I'm in now, is I had to living that I lived in, and that was really important. That I kind of had a bit of support from them to help me settle in. So I think it doesn't feel so new anymore because I've been in here 5 years. But what I'm doing at the moment is I'm decorating again, and I'm changing the way things are. But the main thing I love about having my own home is it's my space. I choose who comes into my flat, into my home, um, and that's really important to me because you kind of want the right people to be living with, and like for me, living on my own works really well. But yeah, being able to live in the right zone. Um, what else do I like? I think I like that I choose what I want to do. Obviously, I work, so there's work, but I can choose what I want to watch on the TV without anyone else to argue. Choose what I want to eat, um, and I think basically just like being independent. Like not having to um, like when you live at home with family, like your mum, your dad generally picks up bits that you have to do, that they kind of just do it, and you kind of take it for granted a little bit. But when you're in your own home, you have to go, okay, I've got to do my washing, I've got to do the washing up, um, all of those different things that you might not do. Um, so I think that's really quite important for me. one of the things is listening, and that would be listening to what the person really wants and they need. What we've got to remember is some people may struggle with communication and being able to talk. So it's being able to listen more than just what the words are saying. You know, if someone communicates using pictures, we've got to listen that way. Using different people to help with different communication methods. I think number two would be about planning. Moving can be a really stressful time for lots of different reasons. But you might, for example, when you're planning to move, it's about saving some money so that you can then buy things that you need when you move, or you may buy some of those things getting ready to move. And then I think another tip would be about it's a bit strange and it's kind of a little bit repetitive, but should I add this thing? But communicate, talk to someone about how they're feeling, um, what are their worries, any updates you may have, because with moving, things can change all of the time. In terms of like, okay, you've got to move to this date, and that doesn't work quite well for some people. But just trying to talk to people, and just basically to do the other part of the listening, to talk and communicate with them, to work out what they need. I think it's pretty stressful when you move, without a doubt. I think that there's lots of reasons why it's stressful, but I think there's different things you can do to help with that stress. So when you're getting ready to move, and if you're moving from somewhere and you've got things that you're taking, so plan what you need to take, and organize that into boxes. And even if you're using your support to be able to help you with that, but almost things that can be unpacked straight away. So if you want to, you've got the kitchen and you need to unpack the kettle and the cups. You can have a cup of tea whilst you're getting ready for the other bits, and unpacking those. That's quite important. Sorry, so was there something else with that question as well?
That I was just asking why.
Okay, so I think also one of the reasons it's stressful is you may have gone to see somewhere, but sometimes it's like you can't plan the future. So when I moved in my flat here, I had different neighbours to what I have now because people move. So you can't plan everything, but it's trying to just basically plan your own move using your support to get the best out of what you have at that time. Really good question. I think I would say it's okay to feel stressed and that about moving, but most importantly, it's really important to tell someone that you trust about your feelings. Don't let those feelings stay inside, because I try to work off a thing where I say a problem shared is a problem halved. Someone may have the answers to the questions that you have, and that sometimes people don't have the answers, but they can just be reassuring help you in that way. And that's really important. But stress and anxiety with moving does happen. I gave that tip earlier about thinking about, like when you move on your first night, have a takeaway, take a bit of a chill, just because it is quite stressful. Have something you really enjoy, and if you've got to, you move and you can't find something, don't worry, it will turn up when it needs to turn up. But like, kind of plan what needs to, you go, okay, box 1 has to go on first unloaded.
Thank you so much for taking part in this interview. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Yeah, you too.